Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Second Deputy Speaker, and welcome back to the chamber. I rise to speak on this matter of public importance, and as I do so, I am here to answer some of the criticism that has been levelled at the new Prime Minister in relation to his negotiations with the National Party, of which I am a proud member. Now, it's much better to do a deal with the National Party, and that is under the long-standing arrangements that have always been in place for decades and decades with the coalition agreement, than it is to do a deal with the Greens, than it is to do a deal with the independents, as what happened after the 2010 election. Now, the agreement that the Nationals have signed with the member for Wentworth today underpins the relationship between the Liberal and National parties in the government going forward. Now, the member for Wide Bay and the member for Wentworth have agreed to a broad range of key policy issues, including, but not limited to, maintaining the existing policies in relation to climate action, carbon taxes and emission reduction targets. That's important. Transfer of responsibility for the water policy outcomes to the Department of Environment and the Murray-Darling Basin Authority to the agriculture portfolio. And that is important. We had the Greens Senator Hanson-Young wanting to take 6,000 gigalitres out of the Murray-Darling Basin system. 6,000 gigalitres of productive water. Well, we're putting it back where it needs to go, and that is in the agriculture portfolio. Ongoing funding for communications technology, including the mobile phone and television black spot programs. The Parliamentary Secretary at the table has done magnificent work in regional areas with the black spot program, and that will continue in the member for Wentworth-led government. The establishment of a new jobs program to address areas of high regional unemployment. Over that side, they don't care about the coal mines in Queensland. They don't care about unemployment in regional areas, but we do. Proper consideration by Cabinet of amendments to the Australian Competition Consumer Act to prevent abuse of market power, and that will come as welcome news to many. Support for the government's infrastructure investment program, including the Nationals' commitment to the inland rail. Implement a plan to overcome financial barriers in accessing higher education for rural, regional and remote students. And I can well recall how those students were abandoned by Labor in the 43rd Parliament. Support for the Nationals' commitment to the Northern Australian Agriculture White Papers and our dams implementation policies. We had a dams phobia over the other side. We've had it for a long time, but we are in the process of identifying sites and, what's more, building dams to fill them with productive water for use for agriculture. Maintaining the existing policy to refer the same-sex marriage issue to a plebiscite of the people in our next term. Now, we can think what we like about same-sex marriage, but we're going to give the people their say, and what's wrong with that? Increased family tax benefit, Part B payments to stay-at-home parent families with a child below the age of 1 eligible. Now, that's important too, because some people choose to stay at home and raise their families. And why not? Why not give them some relief? My goodness, Labor doesn't. What it means is that the Nationals are delivering for regional Australia, as we always will. What it means that the member for Wentworth is prepared to see that the Nationals will continue to deliver for regional Australia. What it means is that the Liberal Party, unlike the Labor Party, doesn't make dodgy deals with suspect parties to get the broad range of policy programs through. We saw what Labor did in the last term with the one Green member of Parliament, the member for Melbourne. But we have seen today and last night the fact that the Liberals identify that regional Australia is important. We've seen that the National Party are always prepared to stand up for rural and regional Australians. That will continue. There are good regional Liberal members of government. They will benefit. All of regional Australia will benefit from the policies that we've been able to negotiate in this new coalition agreement. It is important. And this is an absolute nonsense, this matter of public importance, in as much as it talks about jobs. Well, you know, only 2,000 jobs a month delivered under Labor. At the moment, 21,000 jobs a month under the coalition government. 21,000 bankruptcies. We heard the member for small business. Bankruptcies to a 20-year low. We heard the Treasurer talking about the 75 registered cranes in Sydney's central business district, and if you count a kilometre of the CBD of Sydney, it's 165. We're getting on with the job of building a better Australia. The Nationals are getting on with the job of building a better regional Australia, and I'm sure that the Turnbull-Truss government will continue to do that in spades.
The time for this debate.